I think so. From the starting of the podcast up to now, everyone will be knowing what my answer is.
And I'm hoping that's the one.
No, that's my answer. The answer will be yes. I will still be willing to go back again if I get a chance. Let's say if the chance wasn't there, because I have learned a lot from China and from the Chinese people.
Assalamu alaikum, and thank you for tuning back to this podcast where we talk on everything relating to education, careers, and universities, helping students and professionals alike in making their next career decisions. I'm Sukaina Hemani, your host this season. Keeping the main theme for this season in mind, which is exploring unconventional study destinations, the country that we'll be exploring today is one that is known to be the largest global destination for international education. It's got universities that consistently rank as the top 100 in the world, a country with the second largest economy in the world, and one that is investing heavily in the future, producing more STEM graduates each year than any other nation. This country is none other than China. And for that, today we have here with us a very special guest, Minhaal Munawar. Minhaal, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for making the time to be here. I'm sure you have a lot to share and a lot that we can learn from as well.
Yes.
So to start off, why don't you give us a quick introduction on yourself, where you come from, what you study, what university you attend, and what you do for or hope to pursue in a career.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. And I hope that this podcast is going to enlighten and open up everything regarding China, about education especially, which is regarding about our youth. So my name is Minhaal Munawar, and I'm a local here, East African local of our Jamaat as well. First of all, I thank the Jamaat, which has played a very huge role in making me where I am today, which is in China. Without that, I think so I wouldn't know exactly where China is and what China is about today. So I have studied my bachelor's and my master's as well in China. I did my bachelor's for 4 years there, which was International Economics and Trade. And I'm currently studying my master's in International Business.
Interesting.
Yes. So I hope that this podcast where we are going to talk today will have a lot of things to share to the youth.
Inshallah, I hope for the same as well.
Yes, thank you.
So jumping right into it, I guess.
Yes.
China. Why China? That was one of the first questions I had in mind as well when I found out you're studying in China. Because usually China is not the first place people think of when they decide to study abroad. So I'm wondering how it ended up to your radar. What is it that you are looking for maybe, or did someone influence you to take this route?
The first thing that you ask me right now is why China? That's the question that I often get asked. Whenever someone hears that I study in China, or whenever I tell anyone that I study in China, the first thing is,
why China?
Why China? Kwa nini China? With all the open eyes, like, kwa nini China? Why China?
Yeah.
That's the certain question I get always. So actually, I'm already used to that. And the reply that I give everyone actually is for the experience. Because studying in China is a very different experience, which I can say that you won't get, from my experience, you won't get it any other country, because there's a lot of different cultures, lifestyle, which is very different from the other parts of the world. And someone who influenced me to go to China is none other than my younger sister.
Okay, so your younger sister has also studied there.
Yes, my younger sister, she went there before me, a year before me. So when she was there, she liked it there. And she told me, brother, I suggest you to come to China as well. So when my sister told me that, I did not think twice. I applied for my university, I got accepted, I packed my bags, and I went to China without hesitating.
Really?
Yes.
So it's not like you had any navigation or checklist in mind that, oh, if this country meets ABC, I'm gonna move there. It was just impromptu, pack your bags and off you've gone.
Yes. There was no any kind of checklist.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's because your younger sister was already there, so she must have done her research for sure.
Yes.
And so you trusted her intuition.
Yes. That's exactly.
But I mean, like, not everyone's younger sister is already studying in China. So definitely do research on the country. Make sure it's a place that you could live in for the next 3 to 4 years, for sure, right?
Yes. I advise everyone that if you want to come to China, as sister said here, not everyone younger sister is there. And she said that yes, you need to do your research. I will share with you some things that I know, which I have experienced there, and what I see there. But you have to do your research before going anywhere, even coming to China. Just do your research, and then you can come there.
Definitely. And how did your family and friends react when you say, I'm going to China? With your sister already being there, and then now the second person in the family is going there, how did they sort of react?
My parents were okay with that since my younger sister was there.
Yeah, definitely.
So they were sure about the decision that I'm making. And my friends, they were shocked as well. Minhaal, unaenda China kufanya nini? Kwa nini usiende London, kwa nini usiende America? But I had to see my budget as well. So the main thing, even like going to China, it was in between my budget. I could afford it.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose to go to China.
I think the budget and the cost is also a very important topic that we'll come to and touch in a while. But after you packed your bags and went there, I'm interested to know what the transition was like at the beginning. There's a new culture, a new way of doing things, a whole transition, new languages, new routines. Yes. How was it like adjusting there?
First of all, I'm a person who really like taking risks. So China for me was a risk as well, because I don't know what's happening there. My sister told me everything, but still, I'm not there physically.
Yeah.
Yes. So the risk that I took to go there, and then when I reached there, it was a wow for me. I was surprised because
in a good way, in a bad way.
I can say that it's in a good way.
In a good way.
It's in a good way. There is a negative way, but I think so. Wherever a human being goes anywhere, they have to adapt to the place.
And there's always pros and cons.
Yeah, everywhere. And there's always pros and cons. So there are several things where I had to. No, anyone who goes there has to adapt.
Definitely.
Food-wise, that's the first thing. That's a very big hassle, honestly speaking, food-wise, because the food that we are used to eating here and the food that you get in China is totally different. It's just like even when we order Chinese food here,
it's different from the Chinese food
there. Yes,
there.
it's different from the Chinese food that you find it there. That's the first thing. The second thing is the language barrier. We think that the Chinese can speak English because of the international market.
Yeah.
But when you are in China, those people actually prefer speaking Chinese. They can speak English, but they're insecure about it. So they prefer speaking more Chinese. So there's a very huge language barrier where you have to know to speak Chinese. The third thing is the lifestyle. The lifestyle is totally different there.
Okay.
I can give an example of how the lifestyle is there, where as a normal Chinese, they wake up 6 in the morning, they have their breakfast. And their lunch time is 11:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Right after that. And then if they are working, they have a 1 hour gap where they have to take a rest in that 1 hour. And then they get back to work. And then 5:30 in the evening, they have their dinner. 5:30, that's where they have their dinner. So after 5:30, you'll find a lot of dinner restaurants are kind of empty. You'll find people there, but you won't find it full. So that's their lifestyle. So you need to adapt to that kind of lifestyle in order for your life, I can say, to be smooth.
Yeah. So
Yes.
it's almost like they have a very clean and healthy lifestyle in
Yes.
comparison to what we are sort of used to over
Yes.
here, unfortunately.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've been dying to ask, you mentioned earlier that you lived in China for how many years?
At least 5 years.
5 years now. Can you speak Chinese?
Indian did. So that means a little
A little,
in
little.
Chinese. Yes. You have to know how to speak the language, at least basic, in
Yeah.
order for you to survive there.
Yeah. Because I feel like it's very advantageous to know how to speak Chinese with the economy. Almost everything's sourced from there, produced over there. And I feel like if one knows how to speak Chinese, it's just an added advantage
Yes,
to the
yes.
person.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So coming back to you being over there, how comfortable and safe did you feel being in China? When I talk of being safe, I mean, one, maybe in terms of the physical security of the country, but again, also two, how welcoming did you feel amongst the locals? Was there some sort of pushback from the locals just because you're not from there, leaving you behind or something? In general, how comfortable did you feel there as an international student?
As an international student, I can say that China is one of the most safest place in the world, and I think so. I'm not lying about this. You guys can see it in social media where
Right.
people talk about the safety of China, and that is true because what the Chinese government has done to all the cities in China is they have put 24/7 cameras everywhere,
Okay.
and they have put strict rules for crimes or violence is happening there. So the local people there are afraid of doing anything where it can have a very big negative
Effect,
influence on
yeah.
them. So I can tell you, I can guarantee you that one of the safest place, if for your daughter or for your son, is China. I've been there for the past 5 years. I've lived there. I have never heard any kind of negative thing happening to anyone or any foreigner there. Only if you follow the Chinese rules. I think so anywhere you go in the world, if you
There's-
follow the rules there, if you follow the rules there, you're going to have a peaceful life and a safety life. But if you go the other side, if you try to be a little bit clever, then things are going to happen to you. But it's very safe.
And what about in terms of being welcomed as a local student over there among the rest of the students?
Being welcomed as a foreigner among the locals,
Yeah.
they are very, very welcoming. So what happens is that I think so every university in the world does that. The first year they welcome you, and they have the Chinese have a lot of what you can say this programs or cultural programs. So every cultural program that they have, they usually invite foreigners
Okay.
for them to experience the Chinese
culture.
customs and everything in the culture. So welcoming as well, they are very welcoming. I can guarantee you that as well. If there is like anything that's happening and you need help, they are right there to help you.
It's good to know.
Yeah, but as I say that if you follow the rules, then you are going to have a good stay there.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely, yes. So coming back to the area you mentioned earlier, cost, which is also a very sensitive topic and something that a lot of students worry about when they decide to study abroad. Maybe you could tell us how affordable it is to study in China in comparison to other European countries or Arab countries as a comparison.
Okay, so about the cost of living in China and the cost of studying in China. I think so, from what I know, China is one of the cheapest places where you can study and you can live as well. I'll take an example, I'll give an example. I took my bachelor's there, yes. So I studied international business and trade. And that cost me per year around $3,000.
Okay.
$3,000 per year. But I think so for the same course, if I went to the US or the United Kingdom, it cost me double or triple of that.
Yeah.
And for accommodation, I mean, if you are going to stay at the university dormitories, I think so it's going to cost you around $500 for the whole year as well.
Oh, for the whole
Yes,
year, not a
for the-
month.
For the whole year, $500. But there is a thing with the dormitories in China. The thing about the dormitories in China is that many universities don't have single rooms or double. They usually have one room where like it'll be like 4 students.
Okay.
So that's the con of studying in China
And living in dorms.
in dormitory. But sorry, they do have apartments and housing outside the university where, as a foreigner, you are allowed to live, which is even affordable. I can give you my example. I live in a studio apartment
Okay.
where it has a kitchen, it has a washroom and everything. It's spacious for one person to live comfortably and in a good environment, a good community. And it costs me around $250, but that's a very good apartment where everything is safe and up to class. And the good thing as well is that every university, that the surrounding of the university. So as a student or as a local person who's living there, you find everything is there right there nearby the university. There's going to be a
Everything's
hospital.
accessible, yeah.
Yes, everything is accessible. Hospital, markets, malls, everything is right there. So you don't have to actually go very far if you want to find something. You find everything is right there between the community of the university. Yes.
So that's very advantageous then, I would say.
Yes, yes.
So I think we also see in social media, correct me if I'm wrong, or rather fact check since you are there, but Chinese students are known to be one of the most hardworking students who study for very long, intense hours, and they're very competitive. I don't know if that's the case throughout university as well, but sort of what was the education ethic like over there? How did you find it in comparison to what you're used to previously? And also, do you think that positively influenced how you study as well over there?
Sorry. I think so that we can see that which is one of the strongest countries right now, and that gives you a great example why it is one of the strongest countries, because the education system there actually is very, 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 very strong. Very, very strong. I can tell you that when a kid is already 2 years old, he or she, the baby, is already taken to a kindergarten. And the kindergarten there is not only for the baby to go and just play. They have activities there where they are already starting to transform the babies onto doing general life
Life skills.
Yes, life skills, you can say that. So the education system there is very, very hard, I can tell you, because I study in one of the high-ranking universities, and actually the city that I am in has the top 1 university in the world, which is Zhejiang University. I think so everyone knows that. And in my city, so Zhejiang University is the top 1 in the world, and top 1 in my city, and top 1 in China. And the university that I study is called Zhejiang University of Science. Sorry, Zhejiang University of Technology. Zhejiang University of Technology is the second university in my city. So yes. So between the first in the world and the one that I study, which is the second in my city, we are competing. So for the Chinese, they have a system where in order for you to get a good university in high school, before getting to the university, they have an exam where they need to do that exam. And those marks which they get on their exams predict them where do they go to the university. And in university level, I experienced it myself. I saw them, I see them. they are very, very, I can tell you, they study a lot.
Next level study.
It's a high level, next level study. I have friends there whom I met friends, Chinese friends, but whenever I tell them, where are you? I'm in the library.
Or studying.
Or yes,
So
studying.
let's hang out. Oh no, let's study.
I'm in the library. Like they go to the library from 6 in the morning once the gates open, if they don't have classes, up to 10 in the evening.
Crazy.
They just take breaks for lunch and dinner. We only meet, let's say, once a week or 2-3 times a month, that's all. So that's how the education system is very, very high there. And in my way, it helped me as well because I was there, I was taking things light first. I was just taking everything light in the first years. And then when I saw that, they say that everything shows that the circle of your friends that you have is what makes you as well. Yes. So my friends, most of them were Chinese. So I could see their habit that they study a lot, they're smart. So it influenced me as well to like, hey, Minhal, look at your friends, they're studying a lot.
Yeah.
This is how it is, so you need to do that as well.
You naturally adapted to it and caught up to
exactly,
how
you naturally
everyone
adapt
is.
to that. So it is going to influence you because you are going to realize yourself like, oh, wow, this is why these guys are first in the world because of this, what they are doing. So it has a very good impact as well. It had a very good impact on me as well.
Yeah.
I can say that. Yeah.
And I think that's like the whole point of you going there to study in the first place. So it really helped put you on track for your main purpose in China, of course.
Very, very true.
And what about internship opportunities? Is there any networking opportunities, internship opportunities that international students could take?
All right. Regarding internship opportunities, I can tell you something is that like there right now, there's a lot of networking happening. So there is business networks, there is social gathering networking. So I think so right now, how the world is, you have to be meeting a lot of people in order for your networks to open.
And to grow.
Yes. So internship wise, you can say that you do get internship, but not a fully internship. What I mean is that you will or you might get an internship once you're nearly done with your studies, but you will just have a 6 months internship where the company is going to give you, and they're going to pay you some amount for that every month. But after that, there is, I can say that it is hard to get a full-time job because the Chinese themselves, the students who are finishing to study the master's, PhD, it's hard for them to get jobs right now with the economy in China. Sorry.
If it's hard for them, then obviously for international students.
Yes, but there are always other opportunities if you if you do want to settle in China. There are other opportunities where you can settle and you can make your life with it. So it's not that because you can't get an internship, you can't get a job, so you can't settle in China. There are other ways of settling in China.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. So regardless of the fact on the internship opportunities being available, but I guess not so accessible to the international students in comparison to the locals over there, do you still think the education system in China prepares students well enough for future global careers? I mean, with the rise in STEM education, science, technology, medicine, how well is China excelling in investing in these areas in terms of education as well?
It is investing a lot, I can say that, because you will find after a few kilometers there is a science tech building being constructed or already there. So they are investing in that field a lot. Regarding medicine as well, I can tell you that we have a lot of Tanzanian our local people who are studying medicine there. In my city alone, I have a lot of Tanzanian friends, but not from our community, but the local people whom I know from here are studying there, taking medicine. And I have spoken to a few. They say that actually they are learning a lot there because they get to learn about the Western medicine, plus they get to learn about the Chinese traditional medicine.
Yeah.
And Chinese traditional medicine, I can say that it's a very good practice for someone who is studying medicine. That's an advantage. So it's a good thing. What they are doing actually, they are investing in a lot of things where it can be advantage to international student coming to study there.
Definitely. I feel like for someone who's pursuing these pathways, coming to study there, it's like this lab that's there, and being there is just going to make them excel and grow even more and more day by day.
Yes, and I can tell you that even on careers regarding IT, I think we know that those guys are good in IT. So, like the city that I live in, we have the DeepSeek headquarters. Yeah, the DeepSeek headquarters. We have the Alibaba headquarters, which is right there as well. I think so. You guys can just go and search for Hangzhou. Hangzhou is where the city that I am in. You'll find that that's one of the beautiful cities in China. They call it the heaven of earth in China. So you can just Google it and search it. You'll find it for yourself how beautiful the city is. And there's a lot in that city. There's a lot. And it's the headquarters for IT. It's the headquarters for robotics as well. Robotics engineering. So like in my university, we usually have a lot of robotics what do you call this? Contests.
Yeah.
Sorry. So yeah, just Google it and you'll see it for yourself.
So definitely a very good place in terms of preparing students for the current as well as future global careers in the world.
Yes, yes.
And what's something about studying in China that you feel a lot of students don't know, but something that should be talked on, almost like your reality expectation, advantage, disadvantage kind of scenario over here? Maybe if you could share a few that you think it's important for students to know when deciding to, study in China.
So I can say that if you're going to a new place, the life is always going to be different, and you need to adapt to that. I think so. When we started the podcast, I told you about the lifestyle there regarding food. Food is the main thing where every international student has a problem with once they come to China. But they do have the halal Chinese restaurants and Chinese foods. So you won't have a problem getting any halal. You will find every corner of the city, every corner of each city actually in China, having Chinese, Chinese halal restaurants. And we do have a mosque there. There is a mosque there, but which is not for our community. Most of the Chinese there, I can say all of the Chinese Muslims there are the Sufis.
Okay.
Yes, but I do go and pray there in Juma prayers. We get Eid namaz as well. So getting the prayers is not a problem, but I can tell you that Chinese majority do not believe in God.
They're atheists.
Yes, they are atheists. So as a young boy or as a young girl, as a teenager, coming to China, you shouldn't really try to get off the hook, because if you forget your deen, then your deen is going to forget you as well. No one is going to remind you there, Minhaal, it's time to study. Minhaal, it's time to pray. Because you won't hear the azan there. The azan is only inside the mosque. So you have to remember by yourself that it's time to pray, it's time to do this, it's Ramadan, it's Muharram. Because even in Ramadan there, actually you don't really feel it, that it's Ramadan right now, you know. You'll be fasting, but sometimes you forget that you're fasting because of the lifestyle there. Muharram, you won't get Muharram there. So you have to put it on your mind that I am going there for a specific reason. I'm going there to study. But though I'm a Muslim, I'm a Shia Muslim, I do fast, I do Muharram, I do pray. So you need to follow that as well. But if you just say that, let me, I'm giving you a guarantee, you will forget it. Because I've seen that, I've seen it from my friends, and sometimes even me, I'm a human being. I do forget as well sometimes. So, Dean, once you throw it there, it's going to throw you away.
You have to basically keep yourself accountable.
Exactly.
Because I feel like everything's very open over there and available over there. And if you don't control yourself, if you don't restrict yourself and hold yourself accountable, you could slide into the wrong.
Kabisa.
Okay. So keeping the serious business aside, which is the studies and education, what more is there to China that people could look forward to? You know, a lot of kids these days, I say kids these days, me being one amongst them,
All of us.
You know, oh, what else would I experience there? What more can I enjoy over there? You know, how else am I going to have fun apart from studying over there? Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so staying away from the serious business, we can say that for the young people, I think so they see that all in the social media. Come to China, come to China, come to China. And it's true, come to China. And I invite everyone to do come to China. You'll see a lot of things. And regarding the teenagers, so what the government has done there is that they don't waste any space. What I mean is that if they see anything which is any space or anything just staying there, they are going to make it as a place where people can go and relax and chill. So as I told you, like nearby the universities, there's a lot of malls, there's a lot of activities happening where if you're a student and a young person, you want to try new things, experience new things. So you will find that you every day you have something to do there. You do have something to make you active and to experience something new every day. Parks, malls, a lot of things, sports activities, a lot of things. And
I think we also see a lot of different landmarks over there to explore.
A lot of landmarks, a lot of history to learn. I think so, maybe people don't know that, but China has mosques where they are like 800, 900 years old mosques there. So you can see that how there's a very big history of Islam.
Yeah.
And there can be even something that you can try to search on, like why do Chinese have such a long history of Islam, but we do hear about this and that and that and that about China and Islam. So they do have a lot of things. And the other thing is, I think so, I forgot to mention is I am the university's football captain and the football leader. So we even have opportunities where we we make football tournaments for the international students. We do go to participate in football games in other universities or the national level and everything. So there is a lot happening just inside the university. There's a lot happening for a student where he or she can be busy the whole day and can gain something, studying, playing football, socializing.
A lot of activities.
There's a lot of activities happening.
Yeah.
So you won't get bored. You'll never get bored.
Which is good to hear.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm also very curious to know how studying there shaped you as a person in terms of your confidence, you know, because you're coming out of your bubble, of your comfort zone, in terms of how you interact with others, maybe some life skills you adopted, and just how you view and how you perceive things by, you know, being there and having all this experience.
It helped me in the first thing that you mentioned in confidence as well. Being confident there is a very big key. I can tell you that in China right now, not right now, in China, your personality and your appearance matters a lot. So if you wanna have opportunities there, you need to appear good to the Chinese. You need to appear well to the Chinese, well dressed, well mannered. The way you talk to them, they even look at the way you talk to them. So if you talk to them confidently, well, then they are gonna give you opportunities. So it has helped me as well, being more confident.
As well as more presentable, I would say.
Yeah, and you can say that it has even helped me being more social with people, because over there I do go to social gatherings where like English clubs, business clubs, sports clubs, where we meet a lot of people, we engage. So, and then I can get to know like, oh, this person is doing this. Maybe he or she can have an advantage on things that I'm doing. So that's how that networking happens there. Yeah.
So it's really built you up as a person by being
Yes.
over there.
Yes. Yes.
And I think we can now talk on maybe some advice that you can give to students who are on the verge of maybe choosing China or are deciding on where to go. Just, some words of advice that you can give to students there or someone who's already there, what advice would you give them?
The advice that I would give them as my community members, my community youngsters, is that you can go anywhere that you want. If you're coming to China, the first thing is that you need to be mentally strong. I can say that.
Yeah.
Because I told you the lifestyle, the culture, it's very, very different. So it is going to, I can say, mess up your mind for a bit, because the life in China and the life outside China, it's a total different lifestyle. So be mentally strong when you're coming to China. And as I said as well earlier on the podcast, that you need to know that you're coming there. What are you coming to do? You left your parents. You promised that you're going to study. So come there, do what you left the other place to come to China for, studying. Do study, and there are opportunities as well there where they're gonna have a good impact in your life. So there's not much of an advice, because even I'm still getting advices from people.
Yeah.
So what I can say is, if you're coming, come there. It's a very good place to live. It's a very good place to study. You are going to enjoy your life, and you are going to experience something which is totally different from the other parts of the world. Yes.
Interesting. So I think we've covered pretty much everything a student needs to know when they decide to go study in China. So I think we can end by my final and favorite golden question, which is, if you had the chance to go back in time and re-choose the country of your choice, would you still choose China?
I think so. From the starting of the podcast up to now, everyone will be knowing what my answer is.
And I'm hoping that's the one.
No, that's my answer. The answer will be yes. I will still be willing to go back again if I get a chance, let's say, if the chance wasn't there. Because I have learned a lot from China and from the Chinese people, because they are the ones who are controlling the world right now in mostly everything. So that's even a very good advantage for someone to come there and learn easily how to control the business world, or how to control what's happening in the world right now. So my answer is, end the life there. I myself, honestly, I'm enjoying it there. I like it there in my way. So that's why I don't know, watu wananiita mimi bwana, wewe unaonekana kama Mchina. Sijui, I don't know if I do look like that. Lakini in me, my answer will be yes. Totally, yes.
So I guess that pretty much sums everything up. And fulfills the purpose of this podcast.
Yes.
So
totally.
Minhaal, thank you so much for making the time to be here.
Thank you very much as well.
You're welcome, and I wish you best of luck in your studies and in your career. And to our audience and viewers, see you again next time.